Let's get it. Let's get it. We're waiting for Ryan to join in. We're going to get to it. Everybody can hear me? If you can hear me, give me a thumbs up. My boy was good. Perfect, perfect. You can hear me loud and clear. Just waiting on Ryan to jump in. We can go get to it. Super excited today, man. Can't wait to this interview. This is gonna be dope. Ryan joint.
Yo,
Yes, sir.
what up, little bro?
What's good, brother? How you
What's
doing?
happening? Chilling, man.
Everything you can hear me good?
Yeah, I got you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you perfect. I hear you perfect, man.
What's poppin'?
What's popping, man? First of all, man, I want to say, man, thanks, man. You know what I'm saying? I hit you with the view, the opportunity, whatever you were for. So, man, I really appreciate that, man. It
Oh,
means a lot to me.
good looking, bro. No, you already know this for the city, dog.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So much history, man. So it's good to just top it up with you and get the ins and outs from you and let people hear your story. You know what I'm saying?
Word, word. You know, they be hearing my story for a long time in bits and pieces, so
Yeah.
they get to decide what they believe is real.
No, for real, man. But we gonna get right into it, man. First of all, man, I've been hearing your name for forever. You know what I mean? Since Chicago, since I lived in Chicago, and
Vice
mostly
versa.
mostly positive because you're a great dude. But first of all, just tell me about your childhood, about growing up in Chicago, man. Tell me a little bit about yourself.
Um, yeah, I mean, growing up in Chicago, I pretty much got the same story. You know what I mean? Like most of us, you know what I mean. I started out where most people know me from over east. You know, growing up on 67th. You know, with my whole family, and you know, get a little bit of money, move out to the burbs. So you know, had family out in Calumet City and Dalton. So I grew up a little bit more in Dalton, Cal City, Riverdale, bunch of jump around stuff till we got some real money. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Moved out to South Holland. So like half of my life, which I'm proud of, is the fact that you know I was able to spend time in the city and spend time in the suburbs, get a little bit more sense.
Hmm.
Um, you know, within losing that, you know, shit just happens. Had to end up moving right back to the city, same block. You know what I mean? And that's where like um, that adult side of being, you know what I mean, the city kid happens. You know what I mean? So you leave it to me. I was just, you know, I was a suburb kid. You know what I'm saying? But you know how it is, that back and forth,
Yeah, yeah,
city suburb.
definitely.
Now, if you ain't from Chicago, you don't know if you don't know what it's like to be either from the city or from the suburbs. You know what I'm saying? So
Uh-huh.
I got the best of both worlds with that.
Yeah, definitely, definitely, man. I mean, like you said, you got the best of both worlds, and definitely can make you become who you are right now, dealing with both sides of corporate world hood. You know what I mean? That's
If
why I
I
think
ain't
you
if I
get.
ain't never moved to the suburbs and get some sense and see some different shit, man, and I just stayed on 67,
Uh huh.
you know what I mean? I'd be way worse off. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
that's a
yeah,
blessing.
yeah. That's how. I mean, I was the same way. I had an uncle who stayed in the burbs. As soon as Friday hit, I definitely jumped to the burbs.
Oh, what's up? Let me
Uh
finish in this interview. Let me hit you back.
huh. Yeah, that's you though. But I was saying at the end of the day, like, that was the same way. I had an uncle who stayed in the burbs, so people don't know. Like on Friday, I jumped straight to the burbs and got away from all that nonsense. So I understand,
Right.
what I'm saying, your mindset for sure.
Yeah. I mean, you know how it was. It was look if you from the city, it's looked down upon. You know, oh, you from the suburbs, so you ain't this. If you pass from 103rd to 127th to 130th, you know
Right.
what I'm saying? It's like if you didn't stay in poverty, then you was looked down upon. You know, because you didn't have to go through all the shit that people went through. You know what I mean? But like I said, that best of both worlds is what gave me some common sense, gave me some knowledge to not be a whole fucking fool. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's crazy to think that too. Like when you're trying to better yourself, like growing up, if you were trying to better, if you're trying to get good grades or whatever the case might be, people kind of look upon on you. That's crazy to say that. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
I mean,
Or
that's how it was though. But like, I was mixed. You know what I'm saying? I was light skinned, and I
right.
was in the burb, so all that went along with it.
Got
I
good
see
hair
people in
already.
the comments asking who's the guy up top. For those of y'all that don't know, this is a Chicago legend, Sean Dockery. You know what I mean? One of our best basketball phenoms to come out of Chicago, Duke. You know what I mean? And potentially was one of the best to even do it. Would have killed him in the NBA. You know, it's just politics is politics, and this is why I'm blessed to be able to sit here and do this
Yeah,
interview with my brother. We had a lot of history over the last couple of years.
definitely, man. I appreciate that too. That's one thing I commend you well. You know what I'm saying? Like we always bigged up each other, no matter what. You know what I'm saying? We had issues that most people wouldn't even do. You know what I'm
That's what I'm saying. I say,
saying?
how real this interview gonna get? You
Yeah,
know,
oh man, it
we gonna
could
go.
get real. Ryan Smith, shout out to Ryan. He put this together too. He was like, man, y'all gonna give us the real interview, or y'all gonna give me, the corporate side? I said, we're gonna give you both, man. You're gonna give you
Yeah,
both. But again, like I used to hit you up. We had some things that normal people would, fight over or would have beef. Man, you called each other, this what it is, and it was
yeah.
always squashed. So I commend you on that because there's a lot of people out here saying they, this type of guy and this and
Oh
that, but
yeah.
they never
It,
about that life for real.
it definitely, be hating. They definitely, look, people like I played against you at South Shore versus Julian.
Oh,
Um,
that's what's up. What's
yeah,
up?
man. I mean, but like I said, we even like knowing, especially in Chicago, I mean, we got the Eddie Currys, the Derrick Roses, for the people who actually, went further into the league. But you got your stardom in high school and in college here. You know
Uh
what I
huh.
mean? So like here, I never even knew what you looked like, but I always heard Sean Doc, Sean Doc, Sean Doc. You know what
Same,
I mean? So
same
like,
thing.
remember the first
Same.
time we hit late, we was in like Taco Burrito King was in Greektown. You know what I mean? And we was chopping it up like, man, bro. You know what I'm saying? I heard about you. You know what I'm saying? I heard about you too, but you know what I'm saying? It was a pleasure to meet. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like I already knew who he was. You know what I'm saying? You
Yeah.
already knew who I was just from how the streets talk. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? That's how Chicago is. A lot of people don't know Chicago is a who's who city. You know what I mean? And who you plugged in with, or who know you. You know what I mean? It's always somebody can go and be like, hey, so and so from whatever. You know what I mean? Like you ain't really, you don't know somebody from something. Like you ain't really from here
You
like
go
that.
from
You really ain't. You know what I'm saying? You can't
facts.
move like that here. So
Facts, definitely, man. I remember that vividly too. I remember that day, and from
yeah,
that, but we always been tight. Um, so let's get into something that I commend you about. You know what I'm saying? Your artwork, your tattooing. How did you start tattooing? Like I hear a lot, but I never really truly, knew how you got into tattooing. Tell me something about that, bro.
yeah. I mean, tattooing came on a whim, like out of nowhere. You know what I mean? Like I
Uh
said,
huh.
some people they get it misconstrued with how how they hear about it, especially when it comes to the show and what's put out there. Like I started tattooing out of nowhere. You know what I mean?
Mm,
I was my last job. I was working. I was a conductor for Union Pacific Railroad. You know what I'm saying? And to me, that was like where it stopped at. You make 100,000, you get a job that get you on there. You know what I'm saying? It's like that's it. You know what I'm saying? That's
that's
what
what
we
you're
go.
gonna
That's
do.
what we got to be comfortable with. And I was
Right.
working plenty jobs before that. So when
Hmm.
we got laid off in the recession, it's like, man, what I'm gonna do? You know what I mean? You know how people run. You know how I ran with with B Dot. You know what I mean? So like
Yeah, that's
we
how.
either
Yeah.
gonna get out here and get back on some robbing shit, or we're
Uh,
gonna figure something out.
right.
And right around that time, Van that used to work with me, he was tattooing out the barbershop. We used to all kick it on 87th at Hermitage. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And he was tattooing everybody at the shop, and I sat and watched him for like 3 days. Like, man, Joe, like, man, this mother really got some money, and I was broke. You know what I'm saying? I was
Yeah.
broke. I ain't have a dime, but I watched
Yeah.
him till like 4 o'clock in the morning tattoo people for like 10 hours. Might have made about $250, $300, but he was working. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
got inspired right away. Like, man, Joe,
Okay.
I didn't think the work was that good because he was bragging and shit. But that's just how that's just how Van is. He, what I mean, he know that's how he is. But it inspired me to be like, damn, man, if everybody rocking with that, I could probably do something better. And then at that time, me and a fellow artist, which is This Is How the Universe Works, Chelsea, a good friend of mine, Chelsea,
Uh-huh.
which is Sean's daughter's mother.
Hmm.
We was both cool from over east, and she was an artist too. So I
Yeah.
went right back to Chelsea, like, yo, man, these moms over here tattooing. They taught themselves how to tattoo. We should get us a kit and teach ourselves how to tattoo. You know what I'm saying? And she like, nah, get the fuck out of here. I'm like, no, man, we can really go do it. Like, you really a good artist. I'm really a good artist. And then they only accepting so much, so let's try it. So at that point, me and Chelsea had, man, we went and started Googling, looking for how to get tattoo kits and, you know, try to get stuff. We found some shit up north. We went up north. We went to the wrong place. It was like a swap meet. And, you know, if we'd have never left out of this parking lot and went the wrong way after we got sent off, we would have never found this other shop. And we both walked in there together and met this guy named Mo, and he told us about a bunch of different ways and tattoo and got us geeked up. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, man, you should do this. And then we left like, man, we geeked. And then they was offering like an apprenticeship, but it was like $2,000. We ain't had no $2,000.
All right, right.
Like,
So
we're going to teach ourselves, you know. And at that point, I ain't even had no money. So I know Chelsea, she had the money, and she went and got her a kit. And we went right back to my crib with my family. We was sitting down there trying to teach ourselves how to tattoo. And, like, that was the worst experience in the world trying to tattoo, dog. Like, we was on some practice skiing, fucking everything up. You know what I mean? And couldn't draw a straight line. And I'm like, man, this ain't it.
this
You know what I'm
is
saying?
different, huh? This
Yeah, it was different. We were so geeked up, but it was different. But like, you know, we was feeding each other's drive towards knowing that's what we want to do. So we was trying it, and it wouldn't happen. I know my sister Nova was there at the time, and then she was like, you know, what y'all on? And I had asked her that, you know, like, hey man, I ain't got no money, but Chelsea has some money, but you know, let me hold something so I can give me a kit too. Because we was just practicing off Chelsea kit for a couple hours, you know what I mean? And then she was like, well, if you're going to do it, go ahead. You know what I'm saying? Pretty much like that weekend, that's when I was supposed to go grab the money and then go get the tattoo kit. You know, lo and behold, that was the weekend she got killed on that Saturday. And from there, you know, I sat down, chilled for like that next week, you know, going through the motions of the funeral and all that stuff. And literally the next week after that, you know, I still had Chelsea's kit over at my crib, and then we just went right back into it and went full-fledged into working. I was able to use, like, the money that the people give you, you know, when your people pass, to go and get my own kits. And now me and Chelsea both had our kits, and we was just practicing. And from there on out, you know, I thought I had made a promise that I was going to tattoo. Even when I probably wasn't going to do it, I probably was bullshit when I was asking, but we was just so geeked up at the time. But I had made that promise before she passed. And moving forward, it's just like, man, I've just been holding on and trying to fulfill that. So 11 years in, we've been here like how we are now. Chelsea was on and off tattooing, but now she's back as a full-fledged, you know, thorough artist.
Super proud of that,
working
too.
in the shop with us at 9 Mag. So, like, we thought back then we was going to both be a tag team. Like, man, we're going to be the two dopest artists, a guy and a girl from Chicago, you know what I mean? But, you know, life happens, you know what I mean? So, but now, you know, we back as a team of 15 people, and 9 Mag is this, and we've been able to grow it, you know, between the support of the city, all of y'all, you know what I mean, being tattooed about us when we wasn't shit. You know what I'm saying? Garbage tattoos.
I got hella ink from Chelsea too, so you know what I'm saying?
Right, you know what I'm saying? So that's how we got to this level, man. So that's what tattooing started for me, and it's grown to this.
And grown to that. That's a hell of a story, bro. It shows that you know, you were destined to do it. Also, your dedication and how you keep your word. You know what I mean? Like, most people be like, man, you know, this tragedy happened. Let me go do some shit. Especially people from Chicago. Like, let me get into these streets now. You know what I mean? I'm hurt. And to show that you went off and kept your word and look at you now is an amazing story, man. That's real.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, man. So now let's piggyback. This how, if you're from Chicago, you really know. How did the idea of Ryan Henry Barbecue come around? Like, I tell I tell people every time, like, if you're not from Chicago and they ask me about the show, everything, I'm like, the show's, you know, I commend the show, but you had to be at one of Ryan Henry Barbecue. Like, the best parties I've ever been to in my life, man. and I'm not just saying that. How did that idea come apart?
Man, realistically, it was from the fact that, like, we always used to just kick. When I stayed over east on 67th, you know, all we did was we really just kicked it. You know what I'm saying? So with the fact that everybody used to always come to the crib and kick it, you know, my birthday is Memorial Day weekend, and my pop's birthday is Memorial Day weekend. You know, my pops cook like crazy, so it's like we'd normally just do some friends over. We cook for the birthday. Then we started having music in the house. And then we started doing it to where it's like, all right, we're going to have music outside and barbecue, and everybody just come over. And then, like, year after year, it just started getting more and more. It was like, yeah, tell everybody to come to it. I wanted to start investing more money into my pops cooking more food and more people coming. And next thing you know, 2-3 years in, it started becoming a citywide thing. Like, what y'all, Memorial Day, like, what y'all doing for Memorial Day? What you either doing Sunday or Monday? Like, oh, we're going to go by so-and-so crib. You know what I mean? To where it became like everybody knew that they was going to start coming over east and coming by my crib. Now, mind you, where I stayed at ain't no sweet part of the city. You know what I'm
Hell
saying?
no,
So, like,
we like me, PT, Josh, you like, bro, you really want to go? I'm like, man, we gotta go. It's gonna be so many joints there. We gotta
yeah.
go.
So, just with it being like the way it grew to be was the fact that like it was over there on 67, and it was a bad neighborhood, and I stayed right in one of the worst parts over east. But per that time, like I said, man, Chicago's a who's who city. You know what I'm saying? I'm
Hmm.
plugged from over there. I know the people from over there, and even with the people being at, the gangs was at war at times, but when it was time for that barbecue to happen, you know what I'm saying, I was able to talk with people from both sides and be like, hey, man, y'all see what it is for the city, and y'all know what we're going to do for our block. Like, you know what I'm saying, y'all got to holler at each other, and we have a peace treaty for that day. Like, remember, for years, we
Hmm.
had nothing. Like,
Nothing
wasn't
at
even,
all.
not a fight, not nothing.
Yeah.
You talking about 3,000 people in the alley, you know what I'm saying, a real bad neighborhood. But
Hmm.
unfortunately, for the last one, somebody brought some outside beef, and then Malcolm, a guy who attended, he ended up getting killed, not
Hmm.
in the barbecue, but outside of it when it
Outside.
was over with. You know what I mean? And for that,
Hmm.
I had to stop it. I had to stop it already over there being in the hood because it became too big, and I was already planning to do it somewhere else at a recreational park. You know what I mean? But I did one last run there, and then I had to take that on the chin because somebody lost their life, and it just showed the real parts of what Chicago was. Is that even if we come together in a group gathering, we know 40 people out here got guns on them, but it was peaceful. But somebody gonna bring some bullshit, and this is kind of like the
Hmm.
rolling over like 2011,
Hmm.
where things started happening where just people just start getting killed everywhere. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's like, all right, we're gonna stop doing this shit over here in the hood. But it was monumental to be able to bring everybody out. You'd have Bulls players, Bears players,
Man.
rappers. You know what I mean? Anybody who was anybody to have all the who's who in the city. Y'all all come out and have a good time. You know what I'm saying? Like people that met they wife at my barbecues. You know what I'm saying? So
For real, for
realistically,
real, for real, for real. Yeah, that shit was so epic, bro. And like you
yeah,
said, it was. You honestly felt peace there. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like you have fun, you felt at peace there until the bullshit happened. But prior to that, like you used to go there and like, man, I'm gonna have a
yeah.
ball. You go see, you go see
You're
everybody
gonna
there because
see everybody. You're
every
gonna see somebody you've been stalking down on Instagram that you
exactly.
ain't even want to talk to, but you get a
Fact.
chance to talk to her there.
Yeah, she gonna be there at the
She gonna be there.
Miami barbecue, bro. I still remember that picture. I think somebody took above, like at on top of your pop's crib.
I took it. I still got the pictures of
Oh,
all
you
y'all.
took it?
We stood on so many cars, and then we had the tables that where just people had dinner, and y'all made them tables like the clubs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I still got all them pictures with
Oh
all
yeah.
y'all. You was in the white beater, came
Yeah.
out the shirt, got all
Yes.
y'all. You know what I'm saying? So
Facts. Yeah, you gotta send me that picture.
yes,
You
sir.
definitely gotta send me that picture. Going to that too, like I had the white beater on, but I remember somebody walked up to me when I had the white beater on, like, "Yo, bro, you getting a little big. This is crazy, right?" Somebody walked up. It was Desiree. She walked up to me and she was like, she kind of tapped my stomach, like, "Yo, you need to chill out. This was the time when I was going through my whole thing and trying
Yeah.
to figure myself out too. But I remember that moment vividly, like, yo, I need to get my shit together on the working outside, right? So after that, I was like, I will never have anybody come up to me that way again. You know what I mean? Like that was
I know
crazy.
that feeling, dog.
Yeah, like somebody walk up to you, hit your stomach, you like, yo, like
I feel like I've been fat for the last 10 years, realistically. So
yeah. So let's talk about you now. I see you, man. You're getting it in at the gym. You know what I mean?
appreciate it.
Yeah, and that's me. That's something I love doing. Whatever. Let's talk about fitness, man. How did that become? We talked about it a little bit, but tell me something about your fitness side of it right now.
Man, I just you know what? Like I think I started my fitness journey probably how a lot of people started theirs. Like I had a bad breakup about 2 years ago, from my ex, and
Mm-hmm.
then I got put out the crib and all that shit. So when it was that time, I was like, you know what?
Let me get to
I at
this.
least ain't finna be ugly. Shit, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't feeling good about my damn
Yeah,
self. So I'm
that's
like,
uh
if
huh.
I'm gonna rebuild myself, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna rebuild myself from the inside out. You know what I'm saying? I just started on
Right.
a fitness journey back then. But fitness takes consistency and dedication, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So just getting into it, going 3 weeks on and you know what I'm saying, and not coming back for a month or something that's just on and off, you don't see no change till later on. And I did that for almost a year and a half. And it wasn't until last year, about probably about November, where I decided to make the commitment. Like, you know what, I'm gonna go 100% at this and actually see the change and become, you know what I mean, something different that I want to do. Like, y'all as athletes, you know what I mean, I feel
Mm-hmm.
like it ain't no better job than to build your body to the best that it could be. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? And some people look at like me lifting weights, and I train as a bodybuilder right now. They look at it as something that's like, ugh, why you do that? You know, it's just really something that y'all don't understand. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You can, you know, and you can't buy it. You can't, you know what I'm saying? You can't cheat it. You have to work for everything that you
Yes.
do when it comes to fitness. And like an athlete, you know, if you want to be able to shoot a million free throws and make sure you hit every shot, you have to work on that. You
Got
know
to
what I
work
mean?
on.
You
No
know, if you want
cheating.
to learn, if you want to dunk from the free throw line, you have to train your body and work on that. But it could happen. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? So a lot of people don't understand what it's like to be an athlete or to build your body to be something that's the greatest. You can build your mind and everything else, but to build your body to be something that's amazing. So I was like, you know what? Let me try to be something that I've never been before. You know what I mean? Even if it gets to an extreme level and then I chill out. Like one of my trainers, I started with 2 trainers and then I've been finishing with 1. But my trainer Tay,
Mm-hmm.
he's a competitive bodybuilder. He's a 20-year
Okay.
competitive bodybuilder, and he trains people consistently. But I finally, between on and off between him and the other Tay, my other trainer, I finally said, you know what? Let me stay dedicated, and I'm gonna train with you as if I'm competing with you in July.
Yeah.
So you know that calls for a strict diet, that calls for discipline, that calls for changing your schedule, for sleep, that calls for putting training in front of a lot of different things and staying dedicated, you know, 5-6 days a week. And
Mm-hmm.
I made that commitment in November, and we've been on it consistently. And you know, first it was, are you doing it wrong? Then it's, why y'all doing it like that? And then it's, why you doing it so much? Now it's like, where the fuck that come from?
Right.
You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Nah, man, you can't. At the end of the day, you can't satisfy everybody. You got to do what
at
makes you
all.
happy, and then they'll see the results at the end.
Yeah.
Like you
If
said,
anything,
like
they're gonna see the results.
they go see the
Say what they
results.
want. So
Facts, man. But like the thing I love too is like when I play ball, I had to go to. You know what I'm saying? Like something I listen to. Music. Most of the time, people won't believe this, but shit, before games, I listen to like slow music. I listen to Usher. You know what I'm
I'm
saying? Like,
R&B crazy.
yeah,
So
yeah. But like when you before you get to work, I know you listen to me because I've been in the shop. With like, what do you listen to? What you listening to?
see, when we in the shop, you know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Like, I don't know. I know you've been to the new shop now, but the
Yeah,
new
yeah.
shop is just a vibe. You know what I mean?
Uh
So
huh.
we play any and everything there. You know what I mean? Like, you come in and there's no telling what you're gonna hear. You're gonna hear some of the newer rap from the younger cats that work in my shop that put us on stuff we don't know about. You know what I mean? We used to do almost every night, if not every weekend. You know what I mean? Like I said, I'm a '90s, early 2000s R&B fanatic, so you know
Facts. Me
you're gonna
too.
hear us karaoke in there like crazy on some R. Kelly or on some, you know, Tevin Campbell or Silk. You know what I mean? We'll do that during the day if we feeling like it, some neo soul, or we be up in there playing some rock, just trying to rock out. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
you know, because we all artists, you know, so it's pretty much just a vibe. You know, my mama a house head, so you're gonna hear house music. If we gotta liven up the people, like when they come to Nine Mag, they get an experience, you know, and
Okay.
it's not just about a monetary transaction, getting a tattoo. So you know, we want people to leave with an experience from how they greeted to what they feel when they walk in to how they feel when they being tattooed and served up until
Mm-hmm.
they leave. You know what I mean? So all of that comes along with it, with our customer service, definitely the music and the vibe of the shop. And when people come in, I think they just get that vibe. You know what I mean? No matter what we playing.
Man, that's dope. So like, all right, I was watching this interview about Jay-Z, and then probably I'm like, damn, I'm gonna interview Ryan. You know what I'm saying? So Jay-Z talked about that moment where he realized he wants to be more. Like he went into his teacher had a field trip, and they went into a house. He looked inside a refrigerator. She had the ice trays, right? You know what I'm saying? He like, shit, I want the ice trays. Like I want this in my house. Me and you both was in the streets crazy, like early 2000s, whatever. We was in the clubs, everything, and our life wasn't going right. When was that moment you like, yo, let me get my shit together, man, and let me go. I want more in life. When was
You know
that
what?
moment to hit you?
I've repetitively had this epiphany moment. You know what I mean? Some
Okay,
people it takes just one time. Me, I'm a little hard headed, so you know what I mean, it takes a couple times.
same here.
You know what I mean?
Same here.
Um,
Uh-huh.
I mean, so like for me, you know, when I first was about to have my child, you know, this is over 12 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
you know, I was in it. You know what I mean? Like this would be where I would have to, you know, I'd have to have a gun on me to go to the movies, you know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Or to go, you know, just to the store, you
Yeah.
know what I mean? And you know what I mean, my kid's mama, before she was my baby mama, you know what I mean? My girl, she used to have a big purse because she used to have a motherfucker on her too. Because you
Mm-hmm.
didn't care what you was into. It's like, man, whatever, anybody else, shit, whatever. And then when I was about to have my child, it's like, damn, man, do I want to raise a child with having beefs like this? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Having motherfuckers after me and not caring and shit. So that was one moment. But then, like I said, as a child comes, you still innocent, you learn it. So we still, you know, I dialed back some, but we still fighting, still doing what you're doing. Then I caught a case
Mm-hmm.
probably about 2 years in, and I had to spend Christmas Eve in jail, and I had to call my son from jail and tell him I wasn't gonna be there in the morning. You know
Damn.
what I mean? And for me, it was like I'd have been locked up a bunch of times, but you know, for that moment, it's like I ain't even want to be there. You know what I'm saying? This is the first time I done cried in lockup. I ain't even to the county yet, but I'm
Yeah.
sad because I ain't gonna be able to. You know what I mean? It wasn't about where I was at. I ain't gonna be there, be able to be there with my son in the morning. He didn't understand this at 3 years old. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, man, you fucking up. You know what I mean? So at that point, I had put the guns down. You know what I mean? Back then, and I hadn't touched them for years. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And when I did ever finally pick it back up, it was only in, you know, very legally through self-defense of, you know, my business and my family and my home. You know what I mean? So I had to go through, you know, 7, 8 years of not being around no guns and stuff because I had to learn that, like, this shit ain't gonna get me nowhere but locked up and away from my family. And before, it'd be like, all right, I go do a year or something, I'll be back. Now, don't even put no cuffs on me. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? Don't ask me to get out the fucking car. So, you know, that was another epiphany moment.
Mm-hmm.
I had another one around like 25, 26. This is when I first started learning that this is when I first started learning that women were human beings and I was just fucking them over. You know,
Hey,
so I was looking at, I was like, every woman that was stop fucking with me, they would go and they have a family, they get married, they have babies.
hey, same here.
So I'm like,
Same.
damn, it is you.
Yeah,
You know
it's
what I
you.
mean? So it was me. You know what I mean? So I was like, you know what? At that point, I decided to put some value to myself. Like, man, you know what? You don't got to be spread so thin with just fucking with so many chicks. And then, um, you know, like put some value to yourself. And then that I met Aaron. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I mean? So I met a good person who showed me a different way to you know, care about myself. You know what I mean? So I got in a relationship, but at that point, you know, fuck that up too.
Yeah.
Because but I was learning. I was learning how to become more responsible, learning how to become a man through that. And over time, you know what I'm saying, when I got back with my kid's mom to try to rekindle our family, you know what I mean? I wasn't ready at that point.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I
Mm-hmm.
wasn't ready at that point as a man to be able to stop, you know, doing kid shit. You know what I mean? I was still immature. Like I look back at some of the arguments we would have was the fact that like you remember arguing with your woman and being like, man, I'm going out tonight.
Yeah,
Like
I know. Hey,
arguing with her about going to the club. That's the stupidest shit
bro,
in the world.
I stopped y'all from fighting a couple of times.
Yeah.
After, you know what I'm saying? I
You know what I
stopped
mean?
it like,
So
so yeah.
just if you think they're like, man, so much immaturity that you allow to, you know, to be in your life, like that's so dumb to be like, I don't want to stay home with my family. I want to go to the club
Club,
and
yeah.
drink and spend money. You know what I mean? So like that immaturity was in my life in so many different levels. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't even, you know, until I had fucked even that relationship up. I still wasn't a person that was okay with being honest with myself. You know what I'm saying? Niggas be out here fronting like a motherfucker, and I was
Mm-hmm.
fronting too. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't look myself in the mirror. You know what I mean?
Dang.
And be honest with myself about a bunch of shit until I had to hit rock bottom with everything. You know what I mean? So at that point, that's when everything started happening. You know what I mean? My friends was turning against me. You know what I mean? People wasn't rocking with me. You know, my relationship was going down. I ended up losing the show. I ended up getting kicked out of the building. I ended up not having nowhere to work.
Mm.
Got kicked out the crib, losing relationship, and then it was rock bottom. Then it's like, all right, what you gonna do? You know what I mean? So my final moment of that was like 2 years ago when everything hit, and then I had to start from scratch, looking in the mirror, wondering how I'm gonna be a better man, and wondering how I'm not gonna be what I've done to everybody else. How I'm gonna not be the bad friend. How I'm gonna not be the bad boyfriend. How I'm gonna not be the sometimey father. You know what I mean? And actually apply myself to everything else. So that was probably my last big one. I just been growing ever since about the last year and a half. And it ain't easy. You know how that shit
Nah,
is.
nah,
You know what I mean?
it definitely ain't easy. Like this is why I'm so excited to do it. You know what I mean? Because we both you real as hell. You know what I'm saying? And for you to acknowledge that you messed up, that's me too. Like I fucked up so many times,
Man.
but you know what I'm saying? Like you said, prior relationships and everything. But I'm man enough to say, you know what, I fucked up,
Yeah.
and what can I do next? You know what I mean? So you said a lot of people in your circle left you. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people. How do you know your circle real now? Like you, Ryan Henry. You know, like honest truth. I'm in San Antonio, and when I say I'm from Chicago, like your name comes up all the time now. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy. I'm like, yeah, I know him. Like, nigga, you don't know him. You know what I'm saying? But I'm like, yo, that's my guy for real. You know what I'm saying? We don't talk daily, but if I call him, I need him, he go pick up. And you know what I'm saying? So how do you know who's real right now?
Yeah, I mean, I think at this age, you know what I mean, I've always thought about it, but I would never applied it until I got older. But like if you think about, you know, how we are from the streets and how a motherfucker could turn on you, you know what I mean? But like me, I never had no brothers, so I easily attached on to friends and let motherfuckers who might be snakes or whatever, you know, infiltrate themselves into me. So like when it came to the show, when it came to the shops and stuff like that, I let people run over certain shit because I was trying to please people. You know what I mean? And that was the shit that fucked up my relationships and everything else because I'm trying to please everybody. And when you realize that motherfuckers ain't out here for you and they out here for themselves, and when the shit hit the fan, they're not gonna be there for you, you have to dial back and then become just yourself. So now, being in a position of where I felt like people, they walked away. Now people that I have around me, they be 100% honest with me and let me know because I still fuck up. I still got fuck ups and I mean, everybody still learns shit new and travel down different paths. But now the people that I have around me, I entrust in them to come and tell me like, hey, hold up. Like you fucking up. That's not the right way to do this. And even
That's
if
real.
you very opinionated about what you feel, I'm telling you right now, that shit ain't cool and that shit ain't right. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, motherfuckers I have yes men around them and I ain't got none. You know what I mean? I got people who will tell me that ain't what's up and you look fucking stupid and you're not gonna make me look stupid by standing with you. You
Damn,
know,
that's deep. That's super deep. I'm glad that's around you. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like
Because
because you are.
if like I said, if you think about it, you have so many people around. Just what I was getting at. I digress. You know, you have so many people around you, but it's like everybody ain't your friend. You know what I'm saying? Like you got
Nah.
friends, you got associates, and if you can't call somebody right now and say, "Hey, man, I can't pick my son up. Can you go pick him up from school?" And you be like, "No, I ain't gonna call this person,"
I don't
but you'll
trust
kick it
them.
with that person. If you don't trust that person with your child, because something might be, they might not be no pedophile or nothing like that, but you just might not trust. You don't trust them to drive. You
It's
don't
a
trust them
reason
to
you don't
not be
trust her.
high.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if you can't trust them with your child, why are you trusting them with your life?
Facts. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's
Yeah.
very minimal people that you should trust with your children. You know what I mean? So other than that, they should be fine as associates. They ain't got to be your friends. You know,
No.
I kicked it with you. We'll see you at the club or whatever shit like that. But my thing is about protecting me and protecting mine, and we can be associates. And I'll holler at you, see you later. Ain't no hard feelings. But you know what I mean? Shit, that shit is about protecting your life and theirs. And you know, I'm protecting the provider. I can't let nobody steer me wrong because a motherfucker, like you said, Chicago, you know, motherfucker, send you off, boy. How your ass out here smoke?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm
Definitely,
saying?
bro. Definitely.
And
That
be
like
at your funeral talking about some
talking
man.
some yeah,
Your mama
crying
said.
with your mom. Yeah. It's that's people understand Chicago's crazy, man.
Yeah,
Chicago is sad, but it's like it's to the point where we saying Chicago crazy, we laugh because we just so immune to how fucked up it is
yeah.
out
Think
there.
about it. When you be out, like when like any other city I be in, like people really be looking like, man, why you looking around like that? You know why? I'm
Yeah.
like, man, I really, you know, I'm on point. I'm checking it out. You know what I'm saying? I done been at a party at Diddy crib with Drakes and this and that, like, and I'm up in there looking like the only Chicago
still,
nigga like this. Like,
still,
we in Diddy crib in Beverly Hills. What? Ain't nothing finna happen, but I'm
right,
still
right.
standoffish. Like,
You still gotta be
you know
in.
what I mean? They looking at me like, man, what the heck? You know
That's
where you
sad,
at?
bro.
So
That's sad, man. I'm in San
it is.
Antonio, right? It's super peaceful, right? One day I went to this true story. I went to pump the gas, and I looked around. I just started smiling. You know what I'm saying? Like I wasn't worried about nobody come. That's sad, man. But it's just little stories like that.
Yeah.
Man, yeah. But like you were talking about your son, Mason. You know what I'm saying? And it's something I admire you about too. I talk about it all the time. I talk to you and about it all the time, man. Is you're a great father. In my eyes, you're a great
Appreciate it.
father, and I'm learning from you every day. I know I can do better, whatever. Everybody can do better. Nobody's perfect father. So with that said, Mason, do you think Mason's proud of you right now?
Um, I think Mason's proud of me right now, but I mean, I put him like I put him in a position to where he's had to grow up at a different rate than he should. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people, like I said, a lot of people around the city, they know that when me and Rachel weren't together, we still did everything as a family. I don't care if we ain't
Yeah,
talking or
that
she
was
was
yes,
somebody else or whatever. You know what I mean?
facts.
We still did everything as a family because we both made an unannounced commitment to each other that we gonna give the kids everything that they believe that they need. So, you know, we could not be talking, but when we pull up and we finna go to David Buster's and ride in the car, ain't saying nothing to each other, but we talking to the kids or we talking about the kids. We not talking personally, but you know what I mean,
Hmm.
we making sure that the kids don't see this, that the kids don't see that there's a disconnect. If we normally go to Dave and Buster's on a certain day, and then just because I'm mad at you, it's gonna be like, all right, man, well, I'm finna pull up, man, we finna go.
Man,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
So with that, we tried to not deny them anything that they should have as a family, even though, you know, our adult mistakes have allowed for us to not have let them be in a household where a mother and a father are. You know what I mean? Like
hmm
when I grew up, I had a mother and a father. I knew what it was like. And then, you know, unfortunately, when my parents separated and divorced, that was the shit that drove me to the streets. You know what I mean?
mm,
Like I didn't know that growing up, the anger and all the shit that I was trying to fulfill was me trying to make up for the fact that my parents were divorced. You know what I'm saying? Or me trying
yeah,
to deal with the fact that my mama wasn't in the house with me. You know what I mean? Dealing with that fact. And that's such a bad thing that a child goes through that nobody's going to address. Is like, man, deal with it because I want to do what makes me happy. I want to do what makes me happy. When a child should be able to be in a household with a mother and a father and grow like that. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah,
a duck hatches out of an egg and didn't know how to walk behind the mama duck. That's fucking nature. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
you should
yeah,
grow up with a mother and a father and grow like that. When we grew up raised by our grandparents instead of our parents, we grew up with one family or going up from house to house and
hmm
daddy's house and then mama's house and shit like that. That's damaging to a child and not giving them the full fulfillment they should have. You know what I mean? So that's why we've tried to keep everything together and do what we do as a family. It's just, like I said, with me being, you know, I've been removed from living with them as a whole family for the last 2 years, and I saw the result of that, you know, affect my children. You know
yeah.
what I mean?
Nah,
With me not being
yeah,
able to be there with them at night, every night. I picked them up from school every morning. I picked them up after school, and they go kick it with them, and then I be there when they there at nighttime. But you still ain't there living in there with them. You know what I mean?
yeah,
And they saw
yeah,
the effects of that. And my son had to learn that early on when I didn't learn it until like 15, 16. So to put that on him, it made him numb to a lot of things. You know what I mean?
hmm
And I fucking hate the fact that my immaturity allowed for me to deny him that when he could have had better.
yeah, yeah. We
So
as
a lot of
fathers,
people
like,
they'll look at us at this age and see like, oh, y'all a good father. Like, nigga, I was fucking up my first 2 years.
man,
You
yeah,
know what
yeah. I'm
I'm
still like, still shit. Chelsea mad at me right now, bro. You know what I'm
saying?
saying? So, so it's like at the end of the day, like we're not perfect, but like our
Yeah,
main goal is to somewhat make our child believe we're perfect, which is not, you know what I mean? It's not
yeah.
possible, but that's what we're trying to accomplish. You know what I mean? Um, so let's go back to tattooing a little bit. Like, all right, like in basketball, it's been a time where like I gotta play somebody like this dude's tough. You know what I mean? Like, but you also kind of inspired to be like that person. Is it anybody who you know tattooing right now? You like, yo, man, this dude's tough. I was watching a Netflix, made me think about you too, cartoon, whatever. Is it
Yeah.
somebody uh, that inspires you, or you know what I mean, just inspires you tattooing right now?
Yeah, I mean, even with that, like the like cartoon just came out with the documentary, and cartoon is hands down legendary for the
Mm-hmm.
game. You know what I mean? And when I came to the game, cartoon had been tattooed 20 years already. So you come into a game of people who've been there, been established. It's like, how the hell I'm gonna make a name for myself? You know what I mean? I didn't know
Yes.
how I was gonna do it. You know what I mean? I was blessed to be able to continue and work harder and make one for myself. And even like that, like I said, being from Chicago, all I ever wanted to do, it wasn't nothing about being famous. It was never about having the notoriety. I always wanted to leave a mark here in Chicago when I'm gone. You know, I was an architect major. I wanted to build buildings here and have them here. At least they'll be here after I'm dead. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So to be able to be a staple right now, just for inspiration, and be able to, you know, provide jobs for people here and let people expand and grow, and, you know what I mean, have a team of people that grow from something that you started or that you was a part of and help grow, from Nine Mag to the Black Ink, you know what I mean, to, you know, just like I said, the barbecues, or even the foundation as it's going, just to
Yeah.
be something that'll be left here is a good enough thing for me. But say like that, like as an artist, if I had a documentary like that, you know what I mean, that's monumental. You know what I mean? I'm
Yes.
blessed to be.
Forever.
I met Cartoon like 3 years into me tattooing, and he was a cool dude, real humble guy, man. He was already the shit. Gave me a lot of game. You know what I mean? He even, you know, he was supposed to come to my grand opening for my first Nine Mag, and he sent me. I got a poster that I ain't even framed yet that he sent me, and he drew up and he signed
Wow.
it for congratulations for the opening of Nine Mag. You know what I mean?
That's
From
dope.
Cartoon, and then you got that guy who is doing what he's doing. So to have a piece of him, you know what I mean? I know my lane. I know I'll probably never reach that, and if I do, thank you. But that's a
Mm-hmm.
whole different lane for the time that it was. Just at least I got my piece of him to inspire me to be what I am now.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, man. I ain't gonna hold you long. The
I'm
question
chilling, man. We in it, man. Whatever
nah,
you got,
nah,
we in it.
nah. You know, I'm. This is the thing. This is why I wanted to do it, because I know whenever we talk, we learn from each other. Really, you know, having a dialogue with each other, I wanted to be a little different than others because we got so much in common. Um, let's talk about. Um, let's talk about Mason being in the limelight. All right. Do you want it right now? You know the limelight, right? So I've been there before. I've been there. It's people think it's, you know, all the glory. Like, it can be fucked up.
Yeah.
Do you want them? You know what I mean? Like, would you want Mason in the limelight?
No, I'm like, even outside of myself,
Mm-hmm.
like if I never had the show and if I never had the notoriety, I wouldn't put my children in it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I know, and it's not to down nobody else who does it, because there's so many people who do it, but there's a lot of people who put their children in, you know, something that's skillful, like acting. They put them in acting, they put them in modeling, and
Mm-hmm.
they start into, you know what I mean, they start in the movies and they start in this. And I feel like when you put them in that position as a child, yeah, they working and yeah, they skillful, but you take away a lot of their childhood, you know what I mean? And I always think of some Macaulay Culkin type shit where, you know what I mean, it's
That's
like
it.
they own drugs and shit because
Yeah.
y'all put them famous. They was rich and they was famous early on, but they couldn't fucking handle it. They couldn't be regular. So I never wanted to put my child in that. You know,
Mm-hmm.
even when it came to, like, when Facebook was first out, I used to block my kid's face out on for like the first 2-3 years on Facebook, because it was like exploiting them. You know what I mean? People would post. This is when I started seeing where social media was headed. People would post their babies. You know, a newborn baby ain't the cutest shit in the world, but
Nah,
people
nah,
would post
baby.
their baby just to see how many people would say, "Oh, your baby's so cute, your baby's so cute," and that was the people trying to get the validation that you didn't have as a man or a woman. So we live in a generation of validation, and people, they living vicariously through exploiting their children, when not 2 years ago, before Facebook and MySpace, the internet was the fucking worst place in the world. It's the most dangerous place in the world. So why are
Mm-hmm.
you exploiting your life on cyberspace, when just because it's cool now, some people that you knew that you went to school with in Facebook, now you can exploit your child and let
Mm-hmm.
people know what your child look like, you know what
Right.
I mean? And let people, like, I didn't want to do that. So even now, you know what I mean? This was the first season that, you know, Rachel and I allowed for Mason to even be on television, you know what I mean, to be paid and to be, you know, absolutely. But even that, it's like I don't implement him into everything. If I'm gonna tell a story, you're gonna be able to tell enough from the safety level of where, you know, where the boundaries are. You know what I'm saying? You're
Mm-hmm.
not gonna know everything about him and about this, because, like I said, now, I mean, it's a blessing to have the support, but, you know, I can't go nowhere in the city without, you know, having to be on point, or somebody wanting to stop me and talk to me and ask me for a picture, whether it be at the bank, the grocery store, the restaurant, gas station, on the road, on the street. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And this is every day. And my children, they despise it. They hate it. You know what I mean? Because
Already.
it's
Then you
disrupting our privacy.
you
You know
dead.
what
They
I mean?
don't want. Yeah, they want dead.
You know?
You taking away dead
Yeah,
time.
they come
Yeah.
while you eating and be like, "Man, I know, I'm
Yeah.
sorry, I don't mean to bother you. I know you eating with your family and you want to spend your time with your family, but
But yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
so living in that era, you know, no, it's more about safety. We can't even let our kids go outside no more. You know what I mean? I had a
man.
motherfucker who walked up in Target, and then yelled out my son name, like, hey, Mason, like, who the fuck? Like, nigga, I'll kill you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So just off of what you think you knew from the internet or what you think you knew from TV or some shit like that. And that's how dangerous it could be. You know what I mean? So being a street nigga, knowing that, like, I could be out here how I am and all this shit like that, but, like, when a motherfucker see me with security, they'll look at me and be like, oh, this nigga Ryan got security. Yeah, you know me from the street. Yeah, you know me from just being around and shit like that. And you try to diminish the factor that I would have security. Like, oh, he got security. He needs it. Yes. You know what I mean? I'm not going to let you bring me harm. Right. You know what I mean? They'll joke that you're not important enough to have security. But if a motherfucker killed me and had me, you know, left out here, God forbid, it'd be like, damn, why ain't have security? So I ain't going. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, you doing a man. Of course, have security, especially in that city, bro. Everybody damn needs security in Chicago. Shit.
I swear.
For real. What would you, man, tell a young Ryan Henry if you could sit down with a young Ryan Henry right now? What would you tell him, man?
I think even if I told him this shit, he wouldn't do it because, you know, he wasn't in the receiving position. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It'll probably be mostly be honest with yourself. You know what I'm saying? Be honest with yourself because, you know, it makes life a lot more easier. You know what I mean? I admired the guys. I got some guys that I grew up with who was in school and they never got into gangbanging. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And they was just always niggas who just was cool and they dressed nice and they never had to, you know, shit. And then I started noticing the shit that I was getting into and the shit that I was in. I'm like, man, these niggas ain't got to shake up with nobody. Not the fact that I'm ashamed of anything that I went through, but it's like, man, they didn't even have to, you know what I'm saying? Did I get into this shit following motherfuckers? Which is, you know, most people who get into gangs and, you know what I mean, the street shit and affiliated shit is because you following some shit or you looking for something. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And I got into that following some shit, you know what I mean? Or got into that trying to vouch for something, you know what I mean? Trying to fill a void, you know what I mean? And I always want to be like, though, like, damn, man, them niggas ain't have to do none of this shit. They ain't fighting, they ain't this, they ain't that. You know what I'm saying? They ain't have to shoot nothing, they ain't have to do none of that shit. And that was a motherfucker who could be honest with themselves and be like, no, I ain't on that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? No, I ain't shaking up with y'all. No, I ain't this, no, I ain't, you know what I mean? So to be honest with yourself, and that, like I said, because that leads all the way up into women. It leads all the way up into financial responsibility. You know what I mean? That's the next thing I told myself is to save and learn money. Because I done fucked up millions.
That's I mean, live and learn, man. For you to smile and laugh about it, shit. You go get it again. I truly believe that. Let's talk about this. This is something I went through my whole life too. Me from the hood, but at the end of the day, like I'm not really that. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not that. But when it's time to be, then it's what's up. You know what I mean? Yeah. So how do you deal with that? Like, I feel like a lot of people, like right now I was in an interview, man, I seen hella hard eyes and girls going crazy over you. So that might be some guys might look at it like in a jealous way or trying to push you. How do you deal with that? Like people trying to, you know, like,
man,
oh,
you know what?
This pretty boy, like, let me test him.
It's about how you, what the fuck? It's about how you view yourself now. Like I said, like, years ago, I'd have been like, man, I ain't never leaving Chicago. Ain't nobody gonna run me up out this motherfucker, man. If a motherfucker wanna do something to me, nigga, I'm always ready. You know what I'm saying? That was the street mindset of me. But also, I got a great fucking heart. You know what I mean? I only have a street mindset because I was, like, pushed into that shit. You know what I'm saying? By everything that was around me. Before I moved back to 67, I moved back to 67 when I was 17. You know what I mean? From 11 to 17, I stayed in the suburbs. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I was a nerd. I was a kid. Like, my Nova was popular. She was a popular one. You know what I'm saying? I just could get girls and shit like that, but I wasn't on no street shit. Wasn't no gangbanging shit, nothing like that. And as it started coming, like after my parents split and after we lose the house in the suburbs and you move back to the city and then you start hanging with niggas around here and you really start getting on shit. And then, you know what I mean? Even like I was a good dude at heart, but then I was forced into shit. Niggas would try me because I had long hair. And I didn't want to be fighting motherfuckers and shit like that, but then I had to still on niggas because I get stole on. They see how I stole on 100 different types of niggas, and you know what I'm saying? I can really fucking fight. So now I had 100 fucking fights. Now I'm groomed through that. Then you with the certain people, and then you know now you're around weapons and shit. Now you get in bullshit. You get in shootouts and shit. You know what I mean? And I'd have never thought before I'd have had to be in no street shit like that, some shootout shit, but now you know you done been in a couple of them. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And niggas around the city know you for that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like now niggas knew at one point, motherfuckers knew if we came around, some shit was gonna happen and then motherfuckers was gonna shoot. You know what I
Right.
mean? You done heard that shit before and
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So like it's out there and it's been that. But I never would have wanted to be that. And as you grow and get older, like none of that shit fucking matters. You know what I'm saying? Like now people will see me as a father, they see me as a tattoo artist, they see me on TV, and they see me with some fucking hair. You know what I mean? And that's all they know about me. They don't know no street shit about me. They don't know none of the shit that niggas out here know and shit like that. And it's not supposed to be like that. If I was 33 years old and trying to be like, yeah, yo, niggas, this shit like that, I'm a fucking lame. You know what I'm saying? I'm not supposed to be displaying that shit. I'm trying to create business relationships. I'm trying to be seen as a role model and as a man and not trying to be seen as a street nigga and shit like that. Now, if you get it fucked up and you try me, you're going to get your issue. You know what I'm saying? But until then, I don't got to prove niggas shit. You know what I'm saying? People be thinking they got to prove something. The niggas who be trying to prove shit ain't never been in it. I don't got to prove to a nigga that I'll kill you if you try me. If you try me and go against my family or go against me or something like that, God forbid something like that have to happen, but God will have to forgive me later. Up until then, you better think I'm the prettiest nigga and I ain't no shit and all this stuff like that because I don't have nothing to prove to you.
You don't have nothing to prove,
you know what I mean?
bro.
You're not finna take me away from my kids and fucking make me go sit down and do 30 years for killing a nobody ass nigga. You know what I'm saying? So deal with my security, nigga. Or, you know, go ahead. Talk all that shit in the comments. Do whatever, you know what I mean? Like a nigga know if motherfucker walked up on me and said some TV shit to me, you might get stolen on, you might get popped if you try me, you know what I mean? But like that's all just in case. I'm a protector and a provider. You're not gonna stop me from doing none of that shit. You know what I mean?
That's
until
why
then they gonna say that, that nigga got it. Hell, he pretty, he this and shit like all the girls like this. Like, all right, my nigga.
Yeah,
so,
that's why I asked you that because you know I deal with that my whole life too. People just testing me because of the way I act. You know what I mean? Like
I was the first nigga they was gonna still on. Like if you look at me and all my guys, none of my niggas look like that. I'm saying like a bunch of dark skinned niggas who look like they rough and tough hitting.
I'm going with dude with the hair.
I do the same shit they do, but I don't look like these niggas, so they gonna still. I would still on me first. Shit.
Let me hear Buddy with the hair. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Get that nigga right. Get that light skinned nigga with the hair. He probably the host.
Facts, man. No, man. This is what I wanted to do, man. At the end of the day, have a dialogue with you, catch up with you, and wanted people to hear your story. You know, I was trying to think of some stuff that people gonna ask you. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, we know you on the show. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I don't see you as Ryan. I see you as Ryan I met at Greektown. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like that's the Ryan I want to hear today. And man, I appreciate it, man. Do you want to tell somebody anything what's going on right now, the show or whatever the case might be?
Man, you know what? We really just trying to get through this this pandemic right now. You know, I've been coming in on the back end with learning how people are receiving it. You know what I'm saying? Like me, I fight it my way. What up, Willie? Go Willie Taylor. I fight it my way from inside. You know, as I've done my research to learn what I want to do to fight it off from me. But like, you'd have to look at certain shit. Like me, I'm in the house by myself. You know what I mean? My kids are with their mom and they're away because, we asthmatic. I don't want to be a healthy. Yeah, I'm healthy and I work out and I'm at the gym and I can't catch it. But, God forbid, I be an asymptomatic carrier and put it on my kids. And my kids got asthma and it's a cardiovascular respiratory attacking virus. You know what I mean? So, being away from them and, having to, like when I got troubles, when I'm down, I know how to fucking go to work. At least I can go to work and motherfucking work 24 hours a day and tattoo 1 million people and shit like that. You've taken that from me. You know what I mean?
Oh, yes.
You know what I mean? So like, I've been trying to deal with shit outside of that. You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna work out. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna work out and then I'm gonna plan business. You know what I mean? I'm gonna plan better ahead for me. I would rather, I stay in a nice condo. I'd rather be in a house where my whole family could be and we could all be isolated together. To me, I didn't plan good enough for life for that. You know what I mean? I should have an 8,000 square foot house out in the suburbs and I could have my whole family together rather than being separated. You know what I mean? But,
that's correct.
That's how
that's what I'm saying, man. That's why it's so good talking to you because I'm learning too. But also, it's like, damn, I'm thinking the same way right now. Like, what am I doing right now? You know what I'm saying? Like, in this situation, made us all realize like we can do more, and don't take it for granted. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
don't
Like,
take
and
it for granted. Like I said, and the crazy part is like I feel like a lot of people I was just coming out of all the bullshit and getting all my
yes,
shit together.
yes,
All my
yes,
shit was
yes,
together. I was
yes,
closing on this damn building. You know
yes,
what I'm saying?
yes.
I was gonna get the crib. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? I just paid everything to invest everything, and it was bam
Bam,
smack.
bam.
You know
Yep,
what I mean? So
yep.
now it's like, now what you gonna do? You know what I mean? I had to sit,
Mm-hmm.
but I was moving fast, and I had to learn. Like, all right, let me sit down.
I
Now
think
I can
that's
have meetings.
yeah.
Now I can plan. Now I can hear myself. Now I
Mm-hmm.
can learn and see what I'm not doing and
Mm-hmm.
take that and apply it. You know what I
Yes,
mean? So
yeah.
that's what I'm learning over this time, is try to apply the things that matter. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people gonna go back to just bullshit right afterward, and there's no way I'll ever do that. You know what I mean?
Nah.
So
This is eye opening, and I hope people, like you said, hope many people take this serious and get to what's important, because tomorrow is not promised, and right now we don't. A lot of deaths occurring, and the world just stopped right now. So
yeah.
everybody need to get their shit right.
So yeah, I mean, that's, like I said, that's how it is. It's a bunch of shit to it. I'm taking it step by step. You know, people will look at you and feel like, yo, you got this shit, man. Look, I'd rather be somewhere with my family.
Family,
You
man,
know,
for real, night, man. You said it the best, man. You said it the best, bro. I'm super proud of you, like for real. You know what I'm saying? Not no just we laugh talking shit. I'm
right?
super proud of you and who you become
Thank you,
and what
bro.
you have in store. You know what I'm saying? Also, like you said in the beginning of the story, with Chelsea, that's the mother of my child. She started with you and she's with you now, no matter what, and that shows you who you truly are, and that's respect, bro. And keep
Much
up the
love.
good work, bro. And let's do it again, man. Let's keep,
Thank you.
let's
Yeah,
just
man. Let
keep
me
it.
know, bro. You know, I'll be down to do these interviews, man.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah.
bunch of, like, you gotta realize, like, on my show, they cut out the goofy shit of me. I act a fucking fool. They
Right.
cut out all that shit. They don't get to see my personality too much. They just got me sitting there looking mean, like,
Yeah, every,
you know
every
what I mean?
episode,
So
like you just the
yeah,
mean guy, right? Yeah, yeah.
it's a lot of stuff about me and personality that people don't know about me. And when I be dormant, other people tell your story. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it'd be good to get people to hear out the certain shit. Like I said, there's a lot of people that don't know the shit that you know, or know
Hmm.
what the city knows about me. They just know what they think they're portraying on TV. So I
Yeah,
appreciate it.
definitely. You're not the guy on the TV. You know what I'm saying? You more than the guy on TV, and that's what I wanted people to see today, bro. Just keep up the good work, man. After
Love,
this, I'm
bro.
about to jump in this gym and release some stress right
Look,
now. You know
I'm
what I'm
getting.
saying?
I was in it early. I'm back on this motherfucker in a second. So,
Man, that's a crazy view too. That's a crazy view. For sure, bro. With love, bro.
smash.
Man,
So,
appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. Thanks
all right,
for
bro. Love, man.
turning in.
Save this joint so we can watch it back.
Yeah. I'm gonna have it on the YouTube and everything, so I'm gonna
All
send
right.
it to you. All
All
right,
right,
bro.
cool.
All right, bet.
Love.